A Step into the Past Volume 23 Chapter 5. Book 23 Chapter 05, Touring Cow Mountain. Li Yuan is a guest resident at Tingzhou Villa, which is located just 2 streets away from Tingsong Villa. From this arrangement, one can infer that Feng Fei's status is equivalent to that of Estate Chancellor Li Yuan. Arriving at the villa entrance, he reported his name Shen Liang to the sentry. Upon hearing his name, the guard came to attention and respectfully saluted. "Good day to you, Master Shen. Chancellor has left instructions about your possible visit. However, Chancellor has just left the villa. Would Master Shen like to leave a message?" Xiang Xiaolong initially wanted to leave a note asking Li Yuan to come and look for him, but rationalized that it is inappropriate given his lowly status. He simply remarked, "I have to trouble Mister to inform Chancellor that I did came by. That's all." At this juncture, the central gate swung wide open and an elaborate carriage escorted by several riders in the front and back drove out of the residence. As the carriage window curtains are not drawn up, the passenger could not be seen. As the carriage drew further and further away, Xiang Xiaolong suppressed the urge to inquire about its occupant and began trekking his way home. The weather was excellent. It was cold, but it was a comfortable kind of cool. As Xiang Xiaolong strode along the congested and lively streets among other pedestrians and vehicles, his heart, on the other hand, was feeling lonely and solitary. While he was on the run, all his energy and time is dedicated towards avoiding enemy search teams and related considerations. Although he has entered Linzai and is now surrounded by both old and new friends, he was feeling lonesome instead. He glanced about his surroundings, soaking in the magnificent views of the Qi capital, deeply experiencing the meaning of the proverb "A surrounded by luxury, feeling sad and lonely." Besides Xiao Yuan, there is no one he could trust. The most maddening fact is that he did not have any warriors at his personal disposal. Otherwise, he could simply send someone to keep Han Chuang under surveillance and easily determine if Han Chuang would betray him or not. For example, if Han Chuang visits Guokai on a regular basis, it would indicate his disloyalty. The 3 states have always been on intimate terms with one another, and Guokai's lady boss is Han Chuang's clanswoman Han Jing. If he wants to do something against Xiang Xiaolong's interests, both men would definitely form a partnership. Under those circumstances, even Lord Longyang could not voice his objection. Their only stumbling block is Li Yuan, but whether Li Yuan would risk offending the 3 states to protect him is still an unknown fact. As his mind weighed down with these issues, his senses suddenly tingled with alarm. A single horseman is seen riding towards him from the front, and as he got nearer, the rider gazed downwards at him, checking, "How do I address brother?" Xiang Xiaolong stared at him with astonishment, and after confirming that he has never seen this man before in his life, he raised his alertness and quizzed, "What is going on?" The rider was reasonably polite and smiled, "My mistress is Lady Qingziu, and I was commanded by her to invite Mr. to meet her. As mistress did not tell me the honorable name of Mr., I had to trouble you for it." Realizing that the convoy which departed earlier from Tingzhou Villa belongs to Lady Qingziu, Xiang Xiaolong secretly thought, either Li Yuan has told her about his presence in Linzai or his disguise is really terrible. Thus, he gave his name as Shen Liang and accompanied the horseman to meet this beauty who has had an unhappy marriage. Boarding Lady Qingziu's carriage that was waiting by the roadside, the beauty who has concealed her gorgeous face behind a few layers of veil greeted in her usual wintry voice, "How are you doing, great general? Please sit beside Qingziu." Xiang Xiaolong is feeling disappointed that he did not get to see her face. Additionally, he is conscious that her invitation for him to sit down beside her is not because of intimacy but rather a more convenient way to hold a secret conversation. He hurriedly stabilized his emotions and sat down. A whiff of womanly fragrance began invading his nose and mind as the carriage moved slowly along the busy highway of the ancient capital. All of a sudden, his loneliness has completely evaporated. As the carriage shook occasionally, causing their shoulders to knock against each other, he could not help but recall the wonderful and moving time in Daliang when Ji Yanran shared a similar episode with him. Lady Qingziu plainly state, "Great general's masquerade is truly brilliant. If not for King Xiu hearing about Great General's arrival in Linzai from Chancellor Li Yuan, I would not have recognized you. A relieved Xiang Xiaolong bitterly smiled. I certainly hope Chancellor Li would not tell everyone he met that I am here in the state of Qi. Lady Qingxiu was displeased. Chancellor Li is not someone who does not know what he is doing. He did not hide the truth from me because after all, Qingxiu is the best friend of Grand Tutor Qin. Xiang Xiaolong shot his mouth off. I thought your ladyship is not on good terms with Chancellor Li. Looking out of the window through the curtain, Lady Qingxiu kept silent for some time before softly suggesting, "It is snowing again. I wonder what scenery Cow Mountain will offer? Is Great General interested to accompany Qingxiu for a tour of Cow Mountain?" Xiang Xiaolong did not expect her to propose a tour out of the blue and even invited him to accompany her. He stammered, "Cow Mountain." At the same time, his heart was filled with surprise and shock at her warm hospitality. The sky began to darken as flakes of snows gently and feebly descended on earth. Appearing to be in deep contemplation, Lady Qingxiu stared out of the window and gently articulated, "Touring Cow Mountain during the rainy spring season is widely regarded as the top attraction among the 8 top touring locations of Linzai. Due to recent deforestation, Cow Mountain is wastefully degenerating into a barren highland. Fortunately, after a bout of tree planting, it is overheard that it has regained its spread of bountiful forestry and seas of greenery. Of course this cannot be seen as it is still winter." Xiang Xiaolong finally discovered the origin of the saying, "as barren as Cow Mountain." He nodded, "Since your ladyship is feeling adventurous, I dare not reject your offer." After instructing the convoy to proceed towards Cow Mountain, Lady Qingxiu enthused with anticipation, "When Qingxiu was young, I did visit Cow Mountain with my late father. It was in March during spring. There were gushing streams formed by spring water seeping out of crevices of Cow Mountain, materializing into a descending body of water. With mass evaporation, it resembles a combination of rain and mist, giving the impression of a smoky downpour. Till today, the scene is deeply ingrained in my memory." Listening to her eloquent description and witnessing her graceful aura, Xiang Xiaolong was immensely mesmerized. Secretly picturing her face veils to be the smoky rain of Cow Mountain, he was bedazzled at her attractive though blurry face. Lady Qingxiu continued, "Qingxiu is always perturbed when revisiting past sites of beautiful sceneries. I am deeply fearful that it may become different from what I previously remembered." Xiang Xiaolong was taken aback, "Then why are we revisiting this attraction?" Lady Qingxiu shook her head slowly, "I do not understand too. Maybe it is because I am presently accompanied by the earth-shattering figure Xiang Xiaolong." Xiang Xiaolong noted, "It appears that I hold certain weightage in the heart of your ladyship." Glancing at him, Lady Qingxiu whispered, "Earlier, when I noticed Great General standing alone outside the villa gates and comparing it to Great General being at the top of the command chain in Xianyang, I can clearly experience a world of difference between the two and the intense sensation of how things have changed with the times. Finally, I could not bear it and had to stop my carriage to see Great General. Does Great General find me ridiculous?" Xiang Xiaolong was startled, "So your ladyship is feeling sympathetic towards me?" Shaking her head, Lady Qingxiu clarified, "It is not sympathy but adoration. Does Great General know that you are in grave danger?" At this moment, the carriage drove through the city gates and headed towards the south. Xiang Xiaolong bitterly smiled, "I am sure there is a logical explanation behind your ladyship's words." Xiaolong is all ears. Lady Qingxiu simply admired, "In my entire life, it is once in a blue moon for Qingxiu to experience anything that matches Great General's nonchalance and indifference about his safety. Even if it is not on the account of senior sister Qin, Qingxiu would assist you all the same." Suppressing his voice to a lower volume, Xiang Xiaolong questioned, "Can your bodyguards be trusted?" Lady Qingxiu assured, "Great General can put your mind at ease. These family warriors have been in my service for over 10 years, in addition, they would never have guessed that you are Xiang Xiaolong." After a pause, She leaned in closer and spoke with her breath landing on his ear and her veil occasionally rubbing against his face. Chancellor Li entered the palace yesterday to look for my sister, Lady Ning, and was wearing a depressed and pained expression. Only upon my interrogation did he reveal your affairs. Xiang Xiaolong was thunderstruck. This is bad. Did he say anything else? Lady Qingziu lamented. He would never confide the truth to me, but I am certain that he truly appreciates and views Great General as his bosom buddy. However, he is the Chancellor and it is more often than not where he has to put aside his personal feelings and put the state's interests above his own. Otherwise, he would not be so troubled. As if she does not want to get too close to him, Lady Qingziu suddenly turned her face away, sighing a breath as she gazed out of the window. Sighing along with her, Xiang Xiaolong was speechless for some time. He concluded that when Li Yuan initially saw him, that was his genuine and authentic behavior, but an afterthought, reality, and practicability would set in. His troubled mind could also be due to Han Chuang giving pressure. Except for Xiao Yuan, who else can he trust now? A word at a time, Lady Qingziu slowly advised, if not for the terrible weather, I would recommend Great General to simply depart now that we are outside the city. It will be a good and clean getaway. Recalling the days when he was critically ill and staggering along the unfamiliar roads of Daliang, Xiang Xiaolong was filled with apprehension. He sighed, I still have some unfinished business. Besides, I would certainly not be a sitting duck even if someone tries to come after me. Before your ladyship's warning, I did anticipate this development. Lady Qingziu nodded. History has long proven Xiang Xiaolong to be someone who is able to overcome danger and difficulties. Until now, no one has a clear picture of what is going. Maybe I am just overly worried. Abruptly, she joyfully pointed to a faraway hill beyond the window and exclaimed, Look! That is the tomb of Guanzhong, the famed premier who assisted Hung Gong to acclaimed success and dominance. Naturally leaning forward and trailing her far gaze, Xiang Xiaolong can only see the mountainous wilderness blanketed with a layer of silver snow and every tree branch laden with snowflakes. It was an absolutely spotless, breath-stopping white wonderland. The snowy landscape seems to have merged with the sky, resulting in no difference between the two. Not far away a huge mountain stood erected as River Zi and River Nv, the two rivers meandered from east to west. Lined along the river shores were towering, centuries-old pine and birch trees. The backdrop was unbelievable. Several mountains were connected to the first along the southern direction, forming a series of peaking mountain range. It was a breathtaking sight. Lady Qingziu lowered her head, softly remarking, Great General, you. Only now did Xiang Xiaolong realize his own chest is tightly pressed against the side of her shoulder. He awkwardly shifted away and after observing the environment, he perceived, without a ship to cross the river, we cannot ascend the mountain and enjoy the fantastic view from above. Lady Qingziu simply decided, it is time to go back. If I wanted to look for Great General in the future, what should I do? Noticing her tone turning chilly, Xiang Xiaolong can feel his pride swelling and replied in a low voice, Your ladyship has better not get involved in this matter. Life and death is predetermined. If heaven does not bless me, Xiang Xiaolong, what can I do? Man cannot go against the will of heaven. Lady Qingziu lightly shuddered, man cannot go against the will of heaven. Great General is indeed open-minded. I shall not interfere any further. Back at Tingsong Villa, Xiang Xiaolong's mind is still persistently filled with images of Lady Qingziu. He could not understand the strong influence she exerts over him. It could be due to her indifferent and cold attitude towards life or her graceful style of cool arrogance that has moved his heart. Fortunately, he is bristling with alertness at the slightest sign of danger. Using his spare time, he analyzed the layout of Tingsong Villa down to the smallest details in readiness of a swift evacuation in times of peril. Only after retrieving his grappling hooks and ropes and securely fastening them around his waist did he finally steady his frayed nerves. Once he settled some routine troop responsibilities and visited the bedridden but recovering Zhang Chuan, he retreated to his own room for a break. Just as he was about to fall asleep, Dong Shuzhen came a-knocking. Hugging his blanket, Xiang Xiaolong sat up as Dong Shuzhen nestled herself on the side of his bed. She was astonished. Has Manager Shen caught a cold? Xiang Xiaolong laughed. I am as fit as a fiddle and can kill 2 tigers right now. What is the purpose behind second mistress's visit? Calming down from her shock, Dong Shuzhen patted her perky bosom, exclaiming, You gave me a fright. Shooting him a look, she admonished, Must I visit you only when I have a purpose? Come. Let me give you a massage. I guarantee you will have a good nap thereafter. Flipping his body and lying prostrate on his bed, Xiang Xiaolong was pleased. Let me experience the excellent massage skills of second mistress. Dong Shuzhen took off her outer coat and conveniently kicked her cotton shoes away. Sitting on his back, she reached out and grinned his shoulder muscles, revealing in a low voice, I have discovered the culprit who switched the song sheet. Without thinking at all, Xiang Xiaolong remarked, It is Little Ning. Little Ning is Zhu Ziuchen's personal serving maid. Dong Shuzhen was thrilled. This time round, Manager Shen is wrong. The criminal is Zhang Chuan himself. Little Ning did catch him acting sneakily near her room and found the room to be slightly untidy upon entering but did not think too much about it. She only confessed to this after Ziuchen's interrogation. Xiang Xiaolong shook his head, I do not believe a word of it. It is Little Ning framing Zhang Chuan for her own wrongdoing. Ow! This spot is really comfortable. I am going to doze off. Dong Shuzhen panicked, Do not doze off yet. Do you have any news regarding the promise you committed to me? Xiang Xiaolong knows she is asking about the issue of Feng Fei allowing her to sing solo for one of the routines. Distressed, he honestly admitted, I have not had the opportunity to talk to her about it. Shall I update you tomorrow instead? Dong Shuzhen proned down and embraced him in a bear hug, biting his ear as she questioned, I heard that you and Han Chuang go way back and are old buddies. Would you assist him in harming me? Xiang Xiaolong is not as confident about Han Chuang as before. He bitterly smiled, We are just acquaintances. And definitely not old buddies as you mentioned. Second mistress can put your mind at ease. As long as I am still breathing, I would do my best for second mistress. Dong Shuzhen shivered once and wondered, Shen Liang, why are you sounding so negative today? Where has your confidence and willpower disappeared to? Xiang Xiaolong did a big body flip, pressing her below his body and greedily kissing her tender lips. It was only when she began to moan did he release her, explaining, Life is unpredictable, no man can be confident about everything in the future. We can only strive to do our best, which is why I require full trust and cooperation from both of you. Her pupils dilating as she stared at him, Dong Shuzhen's eyes began to shine with searing flames of passion as she whispered, You are not only into men, but women as well. Xiang Xiaolong bitterly laughed, When did I ever admit I am into men? At the same time, he was becoming highly aroused. Ever since he reckoned the possibility of betrayal by Han Chuang or the others, his spirits have sunk to unfathomable depths and are at an all-time low. He was desperate to indulge in some excitement to distract himself, and Dong Shuzhen has volunteered to provide the excitement he needs. Maybe it is only through her 5EXY figure can he forget about all the unhappy events. Hooking his neck with her arms, Dong Shuzhen softly dared, Words are just empty talk. I need to see some real action to prove that you are into women. As his wall of determination came crashing down, Xiang Xiaolong lowered his head and was about to taste the lipstick on her lips when someone called out beyond his door, Master Shen, official Xie Ziwan is here and is waiting for you in the main hall. Xiang Xiaolong can feel a sense of uneasiness. There are several hours till sunset. Why is Xie Ziwan so early?